Here's the revised FBI definition of rape. Penetration, no matter how slight, of the vagina or anus with any body part or object, or oral penetration by a sex organ of another person without the consent of the victim. So that is what I'm using for the FBI.
For the FBI. Perfect. Perfect. So again, that's the statistic I want to work with. According to your statistic, there is 90-something thousand, right, per year in 2015. Doing the math for that, because you wanted to say over a lifetime. We agree, over a lifetime. That would require 1,600 years, 15 to 1,600 years or so for it to be 1 in 5 women raped in a lifetime. So the FBI statistics would reflect actually much more severely what I'm talking about from the Bureau of Justice. I want to go by that definition. I agree on that definition of rape. I do not agree on the CDC definition where anyone claims that they experience rape. I think the FBI is more accurate because we just defined it. Can we agree?
But you haven't given me a different definition from the CDC.
No, I just used your own FBI statistic, which is more valid because it's defined.
Stephen, you're saying you agree with that definition, but you don't agree with the CDC definition, but you haven't provided me with the CDC
definition. There is no definition. The burden's on you to provide the definition if you're saying there's a rape culture. There is no definition from the CDC. It's regretful sex.
Wait for me to look up this entire survey, the National Intimate Partner.
Michael.
Do you want me to do that or not?
Michael, here's my point. The FBI statistics and the Bureau of Justice statistics, these are official statistics of where you can verify rape.
CDC is also official. It's a government entity.
It's not official if it's a poll.
It is official.
No,
Stephen,
if it's a poll.
How can you say the CDC isn't official?
Okay, what's more accurate, a poll or the votes in an election?
What?
The point is, you're quoting a poll. I am quoting actual incidents of rape.
I'm quoting a survey.
A survey is a poll.
No, it's not a poll, Stephen. A poll is
yes,
when people voluntarily offer information.
You want me to grab a thesaurus?
Well, I guess you're right. That is a survey.
Yes,
I agree with you.
A survey is a poll. So my point is, if we are going to go out and throw out the allegation, which, by the way, can destroy lives of young men, rapists should be buried beneath the train tracks. If we're going to throw out that allegation, we need a whole lot more than a poll. And every single verifiable statistic, including the ones that you've thrown out today from the FBI, prove the idea of 1 in 5 completely, totally false.
No, that's just not true. Now, if we look
show me the FBI statistics. Show me the statistics of incidents of rape.
The word reported to law enforcement. I've seen various studies that say only 30 to 40% are reported. You obviously disagree with that.
Even if that were the case, we're eliminating it down to 900 years for it to be 1 in 5. I mean, it just doesn't add up. It just doesn't add up. And here's the thing, everyone, you're going anecdotal. No, let me finish here. You're going anecdotal, and everyone watching this knows that not 1 in 5 women they know are raped. And you know how I know? My wife right now as we speak, right now as we tape this interview, is at a crisis pregnancy center where she volunteers. She knows these statistics through and through, and she has to report it when rape occurs. This is what she does. This is what the FBI does. And the statistics that you have given us today, when we have defined actual rape on which we agree, the FBI or Bureau of Justice, the CDC is a poll, nowhere can you prove that there is a 1 in 5 chance of rape, 1 in 5 incidents of rape. Thus, there is no systematic rape culture.
Okay, so let's say you're correct. I'll grant you that you are absolutely 100% correct. What is the correct number of women who are raped over the course of a lifetime?
Yeah, it's about 0.03 in 5, 6.1 per thousand.
So 6.1 per thousand over the course of a lifetime. What are you basing that on?
I'm basing it on the statistics that you've given me from the FBI and the Bureau of Justice statistics that specifically relate to campus. So,
you're going to ask me to do math, which is going to be difficult for me. 90,000 rapes in 1 year.
We have a common
law
ground.
Enforcement in 2015. If we agree that half of rapes are reported, 40% of rapes are reported, what do you think it is?
Let's say that. I don't agree, but let's say that for the sake of argument, because I want you to do this math live on air. I don't think it's going to turn out too well for you.
I know, well, you might be right. So let's say it is 40% or 30% is the number that I most commonly see that are reported, which means 70% are not reported. So we'd have to triple that number to about 250 to 300,000 rapes per year. Now, in any society that I can think of, that seems like a lot of rapes per year.
Yes, but it's not 1 in 5.
So it's 300,000 per year. Now, over the course of a lifetime from, let's say, age 12 to age, 70, which is
but first off, you have your cutoffs are ageist, as though no one wants to rape anybody over 70 years old. I think that's wildly insensitive.
15% of people are
and
raped
I also
ages 12 and 17, 54 between 18 and 34, 28% between 35 and 64, 3% age 65 plus.
Michael,
that's where I'm getting.
now you said we were getting off.
These numbers aren't arbitrary.
No, Michael, you said we were getting off in the weeds earlier. Would it stand to reason that we're more off in the weeds now, that because of the statistics you presented, you're doing math based on assumptions that you can't verify, and we're making estimates?
You and I have just agreed that 300,000 is probably a reasonable number of rapes that occur to women per
we didn't.
year.
No, we didn't. And I said I'll give it to you for this case, for you to be able to do your math, is what I said. I said
okay,
I did
my math.
Yeah,
so
it's not 1 in 5.
It's much lower.
It's still much lower than 1 in 5. It's still much lower than 1 in 5. So with the math, 600 years. To get to 1 in 5.
Explain that to me, because 300,000
160 million,
58, which is the rough range of years that I'm giving you.
Okay,
I'm just going to do the math right now. 300,000 times 58 is 17 million.
Please don't ever run for president.
They're
going to trot this video out.
You are right. I agree with that number.
Okay, so now let's get back. Can we agree that we got off in the weeds? I would say that I was correct regarding the statistics. Let's say we're not. But can we agree that there is certainly the burden of proof on someone who is claiming a rape culture to prove such a shocking statistic? And it can't be beyond a poll, which doesn't define rape. And so that's a problem.
The poll does define rape. You and I don't have the definition in front of us. Clearly it must, or else it wouldn't be a survey.
Well, again, if it falls under that, the definition is the California statute of affirmative consent, that is any regretful sex.
But we don't know what it falls under. There's no reason to think it would fall under the California, since it's a national survey.
It's a national survey, but of course would have to allow for that umbrella, considering that certain states would consider that rape.
We don't know. You and I don't know.
It's a poll, Michael. Let's say that. It's a poll which is these are not relied upon as evidence, as the same as reports and incidents from a Federal Bureau of Investigation, from the FBI or from the Bureau of Justice.
Well, but it's
not as reliable.
To get their statistics,
so to say that there is a rape culture, again, the issue at large is...
The survey from the FBI is also a poll, according to your definition.
No, it's not.
They get their numbers from the different states which report.
No, it's not, Michael.
Yes, it is. That's how they get it.
They get it from incidents of rape that actually are reported criminally.
Yeah, from each state.
Yes, would we not agree that is even if you say only 40% of rapes, as we gave you, even if you say only 40% of rapes, but I don't agree to, but I'm giving to you for the sake of argument.
I'm saying that's a very high estimate of the number that are reported.
Well, not if you consider people like Lena Dunham who come out and claim rape, and then we find out that it's verifiably false. But let's assume 40% of rapes are reported. You haven't found that out,
and you haven't presented any evidence that's verifiably false. What you're doing is you're denying her experience.
First off, I believe in a system of law.
That was my original intention in writing holy shit the video, because what you're doing is you're denying something that she experienced, and you have no idea.
Well, the burden of proof is on her when she's making an allegation of crime.
She did not. She made an allegation of a personal experience. She said she was raped. She didn't make an allegation of crime, as I said.
Holy crap, Michael! If you say I was raped, is that not a crime?
Of course it is.
Then she accused someone of a crime. She
also said
she accused someone who she used the name Barry about National Treasury of Treasury of the College Republicans, where she was. We were easily able to find a time frame. That person was easily able to be found, and we were easily able to trace it back and see if that incident had occurred. And she afterward walked it back. But it is a crime to say I was raped is to accuse someone of a crime,
she said
Michael.
It happened. She said the person who people found wasn't the person that she said. I'll quote her to you. If you
Michael, you said she didn't accuse anyone of a crime. Saying I was raped. Did someone commit a crime?
She did not specifically name the person.
Michael.
She used a pseudonym.
Okay.
She used a pseudonym.
Is that an accusation of a crime being committed, Michael? For someone who wants to use a poll as data, is someone saying I'm raped? It's a very simple question. If I say I'm raped, was a crime committed? Am I making a claim of a crime?
Yes, you are.
Okay,
but there's a difference between
because that's important. Because I'm saying
there's a difference between making a claim of a crime and accusing somebody of a crime.
Okay, let's go with that. Let's say it's a claim of a crime, because that would still be filed under that poll. I am saying, and this is important, because I think you might have a blind spot here, just as far as being a little bit out of touch with what people see as rape. People would even read Lena Dunham's own story. Most people did when she accused She made the claim, let's say. She made the claim of a crime being committed. People have read her own story and said that shouldn't be lumped in the same category with the actual rapes that are reported, that you cited. Now, we're then taking claims like Lena Dunham's very loose claims, regretful sex, sex under the influence of alcohol, putting that under the umbrella of rape to create a false 1 in 5 statistic to go out and claim a rape culture is my point.
You're conflating her experience with the CDC's statistic, and you and I don't know.
So we believe that she would not be included in the CDC statistic of rape. When she said she was raped, she claimed she was raped flat out, and we're saying that the CDC would not include her when they include people who claim experiencing rape?
I suppose they would.
Yes, they would. And my point is that would, of course, inflate a statistic that would be completely and totally irreconcilable with the actual statistics that we have from the FBI and the Bureau of Justice.
So let's say that the actual claim is what? The actual number of women who are raped. And we're only talking about rape now. We're not talking about sexual intimidation. We're not talking about sexual harassment. We're not talking about stalking. We're not talking about grabbing by the pussy or by whatever it is. We're only talking about rape.
Yeah.
That number
yes.
is what? 1 in 20?
No, I gave you the number. It's about 6.1 in 1,000.
But you haven't given me any basis for that number other than Bureau of Justice.
Okay, we're going to keep arguing this until we're blue in the face. I use your statistics and the Bureau of Justice.
And you know it's bullshit.
Right, let's go with the poll that includes Lena Dunham because she found a condom in a plant. Michael, the point is that...
The CDC is a government agency.
Michael, the point is you keep changing, you keep moving the goalposts.
The Bureau of Justice, the study that you said has only to do with college.
No, Michael. I'm also using the FBI statistics. So the reason I'm giving you
300,000 per year total.
Okay, Michael, I need you to understand that I'm giving you a gift here, okay? And let me explain how.
I'm happy to receive any gifts you give me.
Thank you very much. And I appreciate you coming on the show, and I genuinely am a fan of a lot of the work that you've done. So I wish this could have been more amicable. I am using your statistics, the FBI statistics, which are very unforgiving to your stance, okay? In using the Bureau of Justice statistics, which would actually be more lenient on definitions of rape because it would go by college reportings of rape, not even federal reportings or criminal reportings of rape, but girls on college campus who report rape. That would be
to who?
It could be to a governing student body, not just a branch of the United States government or state government. Again, that statistic would be more generous to your argument than the FBI statistic, and it still is nowhere close to 1 in 5. We have no statistical evidence whatsoever outside of one poll from the CDC, which isn't defined, which includes definitions of rape, which most Americans agree aren't rape, to prove that we have a rape culture. And so my point is, when I go out and I make a video citing these exact statistics about rape culture, and you respond, holy shit, it's appalling, the burden on you is to prove it. I don't believe you've done that effectively today.